All right, you guys ready? I'm gonna eat an apple.
No.
Oh, sure.
You're gonna ever grow your beard out again?
Fuck no. No, yeah, I
Bro,
will.
it was so good.
Playoff beard.
It was such a nice beard.
Yes, but now I have a mustache, so I look like I'm from the 80s.
Interesting.
You also
Oh,
look like a
Mike,
pedophile.
you'll love this because you always got a good kick out of my beard products. I bought something today just to give it a try. It's a beard straightener, as in like a hair straightener but for your
Oh,
beard.
Jesus.
It's like is it like a heated comb?
Yeah, essentially. Like a heated hairbrush,
Yep.
more or less.
I
Yeah.
hate you.
Interesting.
It does kind of work.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fifth Line Podcast. Sans Eric this week. Not sure what he's doing, but he's doing something. So we're
Hockey.
here. Yeah, he's doing. Is he? Oh, he does.
Oh, is he
I think he's
playing
got. I think
the
he has.
puck?
I think he has a game. Yeah.
The roller puck?
Yeah. So that's exciting. I wish we had something like that here because I'd be on that in a second.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah,
you.
honestly.
Never mind.
Yeah. But hockey is back. Finally have some games to talk about. Ben's.
Is this our first one since the start of the reg season?
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
This was the first week. I know it's felt like longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so honestly, Ben, do you want to just roll into it? You want to start us off here? Talk about your Habs that
Are we starting with the Habs? Okay.
after going to the Stanley Cup final in the previous season.
We'll get this bit in the start too, because this happened right before the first game. A very nice extension dropped on, I think it was last Tuesday. Nick Suzuki getting locked down for another 8 years after this one. 7.9 something like that. For 8 years, which for now will probably be like fair to a little much, but I think within 2 to 3 years will probably be very good. And you have Nick Suzuki locked down till he's 30. So, like, yeah.
That's a good deal. That's honestly, I was looking at that and I said it to Danielle. I was like, I would not have signed that contract if I were him. That's a long
'Cause-
contract and it's for not very much money. That's going to be a bargain in like 2 years.
If he starts to live up to like some of the projections of what he could be, he could have signed like a 5 to 6 year deal, gotten out of that, and been making probably 9 or 10 mil as a second line center.
Absolutely.
Because on the Habs, he's first line, but I would argue probably on like a really like on a Tampa, he'd maybe be second or third. I mean, like a fully realized Nick Suzuki.
Once he's there, once he's there, he'd be second. Point would
Yeah.
be first, but
Yeah.
I think on a lot of, but that's also Tampa. Like on a lot of teams, he's probably going to be second.
And he's
minimum.
he's getting his chance to be 1C, and it started rough. It's not been great. Jonathan Drouin, who has been a bright spot, he's got 2 goals in 3 games already.
He's back.
Problem is that is 2 of the 3 goals the Habs have scored this year so far.
Wait, who shut him out?
Nobody. Chris Weidman is the other one. They've played 3 games. They've gotten one.
Whoa, they've had
goal
one in
each
each
game.
Okay.
Yeah. So not ideal.
Yes.
The defense core has been rather predictably not ideal. That was honestly my biggest worry going into this year. That was more even my worry than anything to do with the whole price situation, just because. And Jake Allen has backed that up because he, in the 2 games he's played, has been great. Like, he was not at all what happened. He was great in Toronto. And then I didn't watch last night's game because I was at home with family, so I didn't get to see it. And plus, friggin', yeah, I am so mad regional blackouts are still a thing on friggin' streaming. Why? But anyway, so
it's because of cable, man.
Any Rangers, Islanders, Devils, Sabres, yeah, any of the games against them, I'm not watching.
It's all aired on MSG.
Just New York,
because friggin' MSG is in our region. But getting back to the games, I looked into what happened last night, and from everything I could tell and see, Jake Allen was great again. The biggest problem has been the defense core just is not mobile at all. Like at all.
You got Petrie, and that's pretty much it.
You got Petrie and Kulak to a degree, but he's still not that strong of a player. Like he has his moments and he has looked good at parts, but like that's not who you want like as being. And then also they're insistent on using Ben Sherratt and David Savard as a pairing. I
Don't look at me.
They gave Sherrod an A. They very clearly highly value him in the organization, which is just like
maybe he's a
like
good locker room guy.
his deal runs out at the end of this year, and I'm almost certain he's going to get re-upped, and I hate that, but
he'll get a raise as well. He's a defenseman, and that's just what's been happening. Oh no!
He's gonna turn into a $7 million defenseman.
Oh God!
Oh no! He could.
No, I don't think Mark Bergevin loves him that much. And also, we can talk about this maybe later, somewhere down the road. It's becoming likelier that Mark Bergevin might not even come back with what's been happening lately. So that's another interesting wrinkle to this year. I don't know. Anytime you lose 5-1 to Buffalo isn't great, but also there's just so many different players playing in different positions than they were last year. And so many different young guys where I had said that, oh yeah, they're really going to have to step up for them to be able to do well. That step up hasn't happened yet, but we're also only 3 games into the year. So like,
yeah.
But early returns have not been great. They haven't. They really haven't. I gotta say.
Yeah.
But who knows? I can't see. I was gonna say I can't see them sticking with Sherratt Savard all year, but I've said that with Sherratt and Weber for like 2 years, and I don't know. It's not great in Habland, but
they never start off.
No, that's the thing. They usually start hot as hell.
Remember last year?
That's usually their
thing.
They started, and it wasn't just last year. There's been, I think, like 3 or 4 years over the last 5 where like just fucking out the gate, awesome, just first in the division for like 2 weeks, and then I don't know. They're an enigma for me still. I'm not sure what to think of them yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see. It's only 3 games. So it's, can't freak out too much. But yeah, it's interesting.
They're going to get Hoffman back this week.
Hey, there you go. There's some scoring. Hopefully.
Their power play has been, this is my last thing. The amount of times I've watched them look off a wide open Cole Caulfield on the power play. They're still doing point shots. Shea Weber's gone, but it's still point shots and point shots alone. There's no cross seam passing. We don't do any of that. We have to get it to the point, because the only way you can score power play goals is with a fucking defenseman shooting a cannon from the point, even though that gets blocked like 90% of the time in today's NHL.
Yeah.
Because that's not a way goals are scored anymore.
Yeah.
Not often, anyway. It happens sometimes.
Yeah,
but
dude.
like, it used to be a thing, like in the mid 2000s to like early. It was a thing, but like it's not anymore. Goalies can usually they have me angry. But usually at like in this era's NHL, if a goalie can see it from distance, they can stop it.
Yeah.
Like, the point shot isn't as much of a threat anymore. But for some reason,
goalies are just better.
It is the only thing. I don't know. Yeah, I'm frustrated with the Habs, but also only 3 games in, so who the fuck knows?
It's 3 games.
That's where I'm at with them right
now.
Yeah. Maybe it's a sign that your coach isn't as good as what you thought he was, now that he's got a full season to coach that team.
We'll see.
Well, yeah, I mean, power play, that's just been bad over so many coaches.
True.
But
who's the power play? Who's the special teams coach?
Now it's Alex Burrows, and he seemed to have it fixed in the preseason. And then like they were actually being creative, having fluid like side to side movement, and like do it like they were trying things. And then it just immediately all went back to Jeff Petrie is now Shea Weber on the power play. We're feeding a cannon from Petrie. That's the only thing we're ever gonna do. And for some reason, we think the defense aren't gonna pick up on that.
Well,
it's
that
gonna
was
work
the
this
style
time.
of power play back when Alex Burrows was playing. So maybe he's like, oh, that's what
That's
worked when
true,
I played
you know.
for Vancouver. So maybe.
I don't know, man.
That's actually a good point.
Who knows? I'm hopeful for Mike Hoffman. Maybe he can save it. I don't know. That would be one of the bigger things, bigger like feats of witchcraft that any player has ever pulled in his time with the Canadians. If he could actually make a Canadians power play be viable, that would be something. But yeah. How are your boys doing? What's going on with them?
Well, I'd like to first. You mentioned it there. And I'd like to talk about the Sabres. Buffalo Sabres. They're 2-0.
Sabres.
They're 2-0 on the year. So they're undefeated.
I will say,
what the frig?
I mean, this is I don't know what this says about the Habs, but Montembeault did not look good, or he didn't look great, but he also was playing behind nothing. The Habs were dog shit that game. I don't know what happened, but like it was bad. But still, good on them. They were playing their ass off, and Kyle Okposo looks like he might be coming to do something this year. And
he came out of retirement.
Yeah. So good for them. I mean, it's awesome that Buffalo's like the Buffalo Sabres fan base as a whole got to have a 5-1 home opener. Like after all the shit that's gone on with that fan base over the last few years, like I'm not mad at it. I'm just like, I watched the Habs in that game and I was like,
the Habs did play poorly, but man, Sabres looked good.
They
looked good.
Yeah, no, they were playing what they're gonna have to do all season, in that they're just gonna have to grind out games. Like they were just playing upbeat, high tempo hockey where they're just gonna forecheck you to death, and hopefully a couple passes go here and there, and then boom it in, and like just they're gonna be very pesky, and then just be hopeful for some opportunistic goals. And so far, that seems to be working.
Seems to be working, yeah. They had 5 different scorers as well, which is a good sign in that game.
I wouldn't suspect that that'll last.
Oh no, I
mean,
don't think
probably
so.
not. They played the Habs playing like shit, and then Arizona. So like,
I was gonna say they played Arizona the second game.
But although Arizona kept them to what, 2 goals? So like, what does that say about the Habs? But yeah, Buffalo, good for them. I'm happy.
Me too.
I can't be mad. Like, even though one of those games was against my team, I gotta be happy about that. Like, it's like,
yeah,
that fan base deserves a little bit of something. And also that meme I sent to the Twitter group chat that I think Nick liked. It was somebody just like screenshotted them in first place and just captioned it. Jack Eichel was holding the Sabres back.
Facts.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Obviously, anybody watching, if you don't know, Danielle, my girlfriend, is that's her team, and it was exciting to see her excited about Sabres hockey again. So, because we watched that Habs
don't worry,
game,
it won't last.
Yeah,
Come on, Nick.
You're such a bastard. You're a little bastard, Nick.
Yeah.
So how many times did I bring up the Habs when I'm talking about a different team?
Only a couple. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Nick, let's go to you because the Senators have started. I mean, it's honestly kind of how I expected. A little up, a little down.
It's not what I'd agree. I'd say that's what I would have expected from him too.
But the more important news, Chuck.
Well, prior to Game 1, they signed him. Yes. To what? What was it? Let me take a look.
Big old bunch of money, but
8.2 times
8.2 by 7 years.
It will literally never matter because Ottawa is forever, eternally just trying to get to the cap floor. So like,
yep,
yeah. So that happened, and he hasn't played yet. They're now into Game 3. Obviously, he didn't play any preseason.
Are they just trying to get him like game ready?
I think so.
Probably getting him into practice because he wasn't. I guess he was in Michigan with the Vancouver boys, right? Wasn't that the story?
Yeah. Well, and he's not gonna practice with the team obviously until he gets the deal signed. So
right.
So until that,
they're probably just trying to give him like a few days of practices and whatever, and just get it kind of up.
I would have thought his first game, the thought of his first game might be today with Dallas, but
they're playing. There's a game today.
Yeah, they're playing Dallas today.
Sunday games. It's always weird in the NHL.
A little recap on the first couple games. They won against the Maple Leafs in Game 1.
I watched a bit of that. That was a fun one.
It was a good game.
But they scored them all on Peter Mrazek in the first period.
Yes,
and then got injured. Then he got injured, and then they couldn't do anything against Jack Campbell.
Jack Campbell's getting annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
And then they lost to the Leafs. They lost to the Leafs again, or they lost to the Leafs 2 nights later. 2-1, I believe, is what it was. And they're tied with Dallas 1-1 right now, unless it's changed. It hasn't. I mean, scoring wise, it's kind of what I expected. What I didn't know going into the first game was that they put Matt Murray on like temporary IR because he has an illness.
Oh.
So
I heard something vague about that.
The corona,
like there hasn't been that much.
Corona
IR? It's a non-corona related illness.
So they always do say when it is COVID, it always gets told.
Yeah,
like there's COVID lists.
So they'd started Anton Forsberg in games 1 and 2. They're playing Philip Gustafsson today. I was like, oh boy.
Forsberg,
you're gonna be starting these two guys and shuffling them back and forth this season. I don't know how well that's gonna go.
Forsberg's been good.
I thought Forsberg's looked pretty solid. Yeah.
No, I don't. I think he'll do fine.
It's an 82 game season though, so like you wonder with those two guys. It's not exactly like a highly proven tandem. But
I just want to swing it to. I don't know if we were going to touch on them or not, but I wanted to swing it to Toronto for a second. So with Mrazek going down, I saw something on Twitter last night talking about how they can't sign or no, they can't move up one of their AHL goalies because of the cap situation they're in. Yeah, so they have to go sign.
Man.
They signed a college guy.
Yeah,
for like a day contract. It was something along the lines of like within a few days they were going to be able to bring up a guy, but like that day specifically they weren't going to be able to because I don't remember how it like all works entirely, but there's ways you can gain cap space over days if you like accumulate it over time by like the ways you send guys up and down because guys make less in the AHL. So like there's ways you can accumulate more. I think. I don't know. NHL salary cap but it was like eventually they're going to be able to call up a guy, but like they couldn't for specifically their most recent game. So they had to sign a college guy to a day contract.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But the Senators, like I said, the Senators haven't done anything. Like nothing's outside the ordinary. It's kind of the same guys who were doing things last year. Like Nick Paul has a goal today. They got their young guys are still like Josh Norris had a goal in game 2. Game 1, I don't remember who scored them, but it was people who you would have been like, oh, okay, that doesn't seem wild that they scored. So,
yeah,
right.
I don't know. I haven't watched any games yet, which is bad on me.
Come on, Nick.
I don't know.
ESPN Plus, bruh.
I haven't gotten into the mode yet, man. I need snow on the ground to get me into hockey mode.
Oh,
it's too warm right now.
I just need hockey on the TV.
Yeah, same.
It has been annoyingly warm. But goddamn, it's time. Okay, it's time for some cool weather. Man.
But yeah. Anyway, that's kind of it with them. I've been watching like recap stuff, but it is what I expected. We shall see how they do with Dallas, and then go from there.
All right. I have been watching the Lightning.
They've something.
They're sucking balls.
That's a head scratcher.
It's not been great. Like do they have 2 wins now? Didn't they like eke one out?
They are
2-1-0.
They are 2-1-0. Both of their wins have been an OT.
And it was kind of along the lines of they just kind of like, shit, we kind of fucked up. Let's kind of get our shit back together.
It's like they're in a slump. They're like which I guess it's kind of like it's like the 2-cup hangover, whatever.
They have, they've played a lot of hockey over the last 2 years.
They have played the most hockey of any team.
Not even 2 years, like a year and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it was a really crazy turnover.
So they are probably getting tired, but like, dang, man. Yeah, I'm not really loving, despite the fact that they actually have a winning record. I'm not happy with what I've been seeing, dude. I mean, it's like
because you were still down 6-3 to Detroit at one point, right? Like it's not awesome.
They let Detroit
score.
Let
Tyler Bertuzzi get 4, was it?
Yeah, he
3
got
or 4.
He got 4. It was bad. That game. So the funny thing about first of all, Vasilevsky,
is he not?
I think he's tired.
I mean, I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't blame him, but like, they might want to give Elliott some starts here because he's
not gonna lie. I saw some of those goals he let in. I'm like, all right, I want to know where the fuck this was in July. Vasi, where the fuck was this? He couldn't have done this a little earlier.
He's not been doing great. Okay, but I think he's tired. I think they let Elliott take some starts. I think he'll get back to form. Or as soon as if they get into the playoffs, he'll probably just snap right back to playoff form. But so I think I'm not saying it's Vasi's fault because the defense around him or in front of him hasn't been good either.
I watched that Pittsburgh game. It was
the Pittsburgh game was terrible.
It was not great.
It was absolutely awful. They were the whole time I was playing. Danielle was watching with me, or the whole time I was watching. I was like, this is the worst I've seen them play in such a long time. This is awful. I'm watching it. I'm like, they can't beat us. Any team playing like this. I mean, it was terrible. But regardless, they lose that.
Habs, but
I don't, dude. It was bad. But like and by the way, at the end, it was 6-2, I think. At the end, Cooper,
that empty net shit was.
Listen, this is what happened. He was practicing. He was using that shit as practice, I think.
Oh, I mean, sure. Like, I mean, at that point, you're gonna lose 4-2 or 6-2. You might as well.
That's literally what it was. He was like, yeah, let's get some empty net late game practice going here, and they scored twice.
I will say, this is gonna sound kind of crazy. Try Corey Perry with that. He got, I think, 2 or 3 goals doing that with the Habs last year. They're like 6-on-5 play. They could not do a power play to save their goddamn lives, but their 6-on-5 play, for whatever fucking reason, was like god tier. But yeah, Corey Perry, you should try him there.
Yeah, maybe they will. But yeah, so we're watching. So the other night, Thursday night, I guess, we were watching the Detroit game. While we had the Sabres game on. So we had one on the laptop, one on the TV, and we're watching, and I like switch it over to the Lightning, and they're getting shit on, and I'm like, well, this is fucking terrible. But eventually we get to the end of the Sabres game, and there's still a little bit left in the Lightning game. So we turn it on. It's like the beginning of the third period, and they get scored on. And then like 2 minutes later, they get scored on again. So I'm like, fuck this.
Jesus.
Actually, I didn't. I was over here just fucking around. And then Danielle was like, I'm going to turn this off now. I'm like, okay. I didn't really care. I wasn't, I was just done watching anyway. So, but then we go, we do everything, take a shower. I get out. And I see the notification on my phone that the Lightning win in OT. So they came back. It was like 2 or 3-6 or whatever it was. And when we turned it off, and then I stopped watching, and immediately they start going off. And it was just funny that's how it worked out. But and then they beat the Capitals in OT.
Wins though.
They've gotten 2 wins, but man, they've been ugly.
I saw the only thing I saw out of that Tampa Washington game was Ovi getting off the bench and then literally 6 seconds later scoring a goal, which I was just like, that man is just a lunatic.
I watched that goal. I called it. Danielle can say I saw it was a little scramble. He got the puck, and I saw the number 8, and I'm like, oh, well, there's a goal. And he puts it in. It's like, Jesus, man.
I think that means he already has it like 3 or 4 too. So like Gretzky watch, let's go, because he got to 5th overall the other day past
in
Marcel
the first
Dion,
game, yeah.
So I really fucking want him to do that. Like that would be so
the first
cool.
one. I think he will.
And also to like, but like, I know it's always been a thing that Ovi just keeps fucking going. I'm worried that at some point that magic can't just go forever, and like Father Time takes all the athletes at some point. So like I just hope that like the lockouts and all that and like all the missed time with COVID, like I hope he doesn't get within like 20 goals and it's because he missed has to games. Retire. And it's very clearly just because like if that's like there's like 3 seasons worth of time in there where like you're gonna get 20 goals out of Ovi in that span of like I just hope it's not that because that would fucking suck.
Be really shitty.
Yeah.
Another Russian though, Kucherov, might be hurt.
Well,
he got hurt in that game, and then he like limped off the ice, which he couldn't even skate off of the ice. He like would take a stride and then he would like bend over. Like it was so bad that the Capitals players on the bench were pushing his butt. They were like pushing him to get him to the bench. So that's not promising, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully he ends up okay. Because
Stammer will pick up the slack.
Frickin' Stamkos, man.
Has he been doing
the 1 year I don't draft him? He's got 6 points in 3 games.
Oh wow!
And like 4 goals or something.
I just picked up in fantasy hockey while we were talking to.
I saw you. You grabbed Tyler Bertuzzi the second I said something.
Oh yeah. I listen.
Okay.
I think that was a flash in the pan. Plus because he
he's not gonna be able to play any games in Canada.
He's gonna miss 9 games throughout the season because he hasn't gotten vaccinated. Doesn't want to. Which it's your choice, but you're gonna miss out on some games.
Somebody did the math, and he's losing like 400,000 because of that. Which
really that much?
Something like that. I think, or that might be off. It might
can't
make
40, that much money. Actually, I guess that's not that much, but.
So
I don't remember if he's like on his second deal yet or not. Like if he's still on his entry level, there's no way it's 400,000.
Yeah, no.
But I think he did get signed to something. Anyway, continue.
He's missing money, and that sucks. But
he's 26.
Yeah, so he's definitely not in an ELC.
Year 2.
He makes 4.75 mil a year. Yeah, so
he's losing a good chunk.
400,000 ish would make sense.
Yeah.
Which, bruh,
that sucks. Yeah.
I don't know how you don't just get a shot for like. How do you just be like, yeah, I'm gonna set $400,000 on fire?
Who knows?
Like I don't.
Who
he
knows?
made his contract value and didn't play a game last year, so
that's true.
Sure he was out last season.
Yeah, I guess your mindset changes a bit once you've already been experiencing that kind of money. But
yeah, not too happy.
Anyway.
Not too happy about the Lightning start, but I think they'll be fine. They'll figure it out.
I mean, hey, at least you already know you can make the playoffs without Kucherov.
That's true. But listen, I can tell the missing.
It's not as good of a team as it was last year.
That missing third line, the impact that it had, like I can tell that it's missing because like in that Penguins game especially, they just couldn't get any kind of momentum going their way, and that was the momentum line. So unfortunate, but I think they'll pick it up. And then now I'll just go quick through Islanders stuff since we are missing Eric, but. We'd like to.
How are they doing? I actually haven't seen a damn thing about the Islanders yet.
They're doing poopy.
Well, to what degree?
That was elegant.
They're 0-2-0, and I know they lost 5-1 to Florida.
Oh, I did see that.
And I don't think the first game.
Sam Bennett had a hattie.
I don't think the first game was too good.
After I was Sam Bennett ain't gonna be shit.
Who had a hattie? Oh, I should pick him up.
Actually, is he still available?
I don't know, but
Who gets there first?
So
I'm not doing it. I picked up Elias Lindholm.
they're not. So they're not doing great, and I'm sure that's what Eric would say. I don't know
He's
what the problem
available
is.
and a 2 position.
All right, shut the hell up. I'm talking about the Islanders.
The Islanders, how they doing? Not bad, or not good?
Not good. Not good. They did get Pulak signed to an extension, 6.15 times 8 years, which is pretty good considering what defensemen seem to be going for nowadays. But yeah, I don't know. This is who I think is going to win the cup, and they're kind of blowing cheeks right now.
I mean,
let's just all put this into perspective that we're talking about
2 games.
3 games into the season, dropping 2 or 3 games by
True.
I mean, the Senators and the Canadians, I don't know what they're going to do, but for you and for the Islanders, dropping 2 or 3 games at the beginning of the season isn't going to.
No, it doesn't mean anything, but it's more like
what you're seeing, you're not loving is like the way general way they're playing.
I haven't seen any Islanders games. I actually haven't caught any, so I can't really talk. But
I thought I was more so meant like with the Lightning, because you're saying Lightning and Isles.
What I've been seeing, it's not promising, but things will change. But yeah, for the Islanders.
So like the Islanders signing Pulak,
yes,
another defenseman got signed this week to a big old deal.
Oh yeah,
Charlie McAvoy.
Yeah, we can touch on that.
What was the deal again?
It was big.
8 years by 76 million, so it's 9.5 AAV, which makes him, I believe, the second highest paid defenseman off this offseason, because I think Renski was first.
I'll say this:
I think they were both.
So Seth Jones would be first, wouldn't he?
Seth Jones was 9.5, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
I
sure
will say this though: I like this contract a lot more than Seth Jones's contract.
I think it makes a little more sense.
He's a lot better of a player.
Yeah. It would. Yeah,
he was voted in what? The defensive trophy is the Norris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was 5th in the Norris voting.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
I personally didn't know that he was that good.
He's like quietly good.
His rise was basically when, like, it was when 2 years back, was it? When they were like, yeah, Chara just... him being what he was what allowed them to do that with Chara. It was like Charlie Mack was good. Like he is definitely more
and
quiet.
He's clearly
not like
picked up the slack since Torrey Krug left too. So
oh yeah, Krug. Yeah. I thought they were gonna be kind of boned when they let Krug go. But
who even is the rest of their decor?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I haven't seen Boston forever, which is weird. Like I'm used to like
seeing them
like
all the
fucking
time,
hating them, and then I'm like, oh yeah, Marchand Bergeron, you're okay. That makes sense. Who are the rest of you?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a good deal. That's more, as Ben said, more worth than Seth Jones. Yeah.
Who has not been doing well in his
No, I'm
my God.
Listen, I felt like I was like, man, I should have picked the Blackhawks to make a wild card spot. And now I'm like, oh man, I'm a genius.
Dominic Kubalik has been doing stuff.
Oh, he's a good player. They have good players.
He's been doing stuff for me for fantasy, but yeah, no, I don't know about the
They don't have like a stack.
They got old guys.
Yeah.
They got old guys are their good guys.
Before,
and then there's like DeBrincat and Kubalik.
Yeah, I was gonna say DeBrincat's playing good. And then like Patrick Kane's gonna be Patrick Kane at some point. So
and I haven't watched a lot of Chicago either. So I don't know if it's Fleury having new moves or if it's the D in front of him. I have to assume it's a bit of both.
I did see a picture of. I'm sorry about that burp there.
What the fuck was that?
Kind of just sneaked out there.
Control your bowels, dude.
What? That's not where burps come from, is it?
I don't know.
Ask him.
But anyway, I did see a picture on Twitter where it was like. It was I don't remember, some goofy caption, and then it's like Fleury standing like a solid 4 feet out of his crease, just a dog pile of players in front of it, and the puck in the net. And I'm just like, well, that couldn't have been good. But I didn't see any of like what happened. I just thought it was a funny picture. But
yeah, I mean, I was hoping they'd do better, honestly. Actually, you know what? Never mind.
They've been also too good. Very like it's just been a bunch of goofy shit that we've been seeing and like some concerning things.
How about the multi-goal games from people? They just been pouring in.
There's been the 4 from Bertuzzi.
4 from
There's been a
Bertuzzi,
Hattie
hat
from
trick
Sam Bennett. Hattie from Kopitar.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was another hat trick.
I feel like there's been others.
Yeah,
David Perron scored 2 last night.
McDavid had 2.
David Perron's been weirdly good since he went back to St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like he's been kind of hot there. Like it's been good for him. I don't know what, because he just wasn't doing that awesome before he got there. He'd bounced around a bunch, but then as soon as he got back to St. Louis, he was like, I am gonna become a consistent 50-point player a year person again for some reason.
Yeah,
but good for him.
Yeah, it just feels like there's been a lot. Like Stamkos had 2 twice, I think.
You want to know? You want to know who had Stamkos on the bench when they won in overtime?
Yeah, I
This
looked.
guy.
Oh, I saw. I was like,
So I'm not the only one that's done
I
it
was
this
like,
year.
damn it, Nick's gonna get a bunch of points from Stamkos, and then I go and I look, and he's on your bench, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
I made a difficult roster set that night, and I was like, I don't think he's gonna play that good against them a little bit.
Bro, I have
Mm.
not been making good calls this year. I
also left
really
David
have not.
Perron
been-
on my
Listen,
bench
we
tonight.
can
He scored
listen.
2.
We can get into that, boys. We can get into that. I want to do that at the end, though.
I don't have anybody playing tomorrow either.
We're gonna get into it at the end.
One person.
Listen, Ben.
Let's talk real quick. There's not a whole lot to get to. Then we can get into our fantasy, gentlemen. Can no control these guys.
No.
Landeskog suspension. Did you guys see that hit? I would assume
Did.
Ben did. You did
I
too?
did,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, you did. We talked about that the other day.
Yeah.
So he boards Kirby Doc.
He did a bad.
How do you
And
think
how
about
many
that
games did he
suspension?
get?
So, 2. I don't. So it's not a good hit, right?
It's actually quite shite.
I don't know
feel like 2's
how I
fine.
feel about it. Like I'm not like angered, like super angered about it because like
You think it's too much?
no, I think that the suspension is worthy. The hit wasn't like so like atrociously bad. Like
It was
he
more
got
of a
what he-
like.
he
He
got
was
what he
going for a hit.
deserved,
He
and
got
good thing
super
Kirby Doc
aggressive.
was still like half balanced off of 1 foot anyway.
Yeah.
So like it could have been way worse. So
It
I
could have
don't,
turned
I don't
out way
personally
worse.
think like that hit right there happens 5-10 years ago. It's never called.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't get a
No, I
suspension.
mean no, yeah. The league's gotten a little
That's
bit
not
more
a great way.
conscious,
Yeah. Like
but I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm
No,
saying
I
like
agree.
saying like in the early 2000s. I'm like because in the early 2000s the amount of guys who were getting like severe head trauma
Do you guys
on
remember-
a game basis.
You guys remember the Scott Stevens on Paul Correa hit? Oh my god.
Most hits Scott Stevens laid would be so illegal in the game.
But like
the
that
entire
one,
thing that he would not be able to exist
No,
in today's NHL.
that's why you don't
But
see
yeah,
it.
that was a particularly.
So
Yeah,
that's
like,
also
and
Paul
not the
Correa
first
has
time-
said he doesn't remember parts of that game. Like I think he scored later in that
he
game.
scored
He's like,
like
I
a little
don't
bit later,
remember it.
yeah. Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's-
scary, man.
Like yeah, it's good that things are kind of turning a little in a better direction.
It's also not the first time that Landeskog's been suspended for hits, I believe. I heard something, I can't even remember where it was, but I heard something on the radio, I think, talking about him and suspensions from hits. And I think it's like the third, I think it's like the third time he's been suspended for a hit.
I
Which is like, okay.
I could see that, but I don't know. I haven't paid much attention.
Turning into a frequent flyer over there.
Yeah, I think it was a good.
You know, it is what it is. Mike, are you frozen?
I was for a minute there.
Oh, okay. You're just sitting there with this shit-eating grin on your face, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's just me.
I hope you freeze like that.
No. I think it's a fine suspension. I have no issue with it. I think the hit looked really bad because he was like one skate balanced. He was like down on his knee, and then he hit him from like 5 feet away from the boards, and it was just a lot bad.
Oh
that could
yeah,
happen
he
there.
definitely. Yeah, it didn't look good. I watched the replay a couple times because Nick and I watched it at work, and we're like, "Ooh, he kind of like he gets all charged up and just like launches himself
it was-
into him."
oof. Especially, did
Wasn't
you guys
great.
see the camera angle from like down on the ice, like up the boards? That's
Yeah.
the worst one. His body just like crumples against the boards. I was like, Kirby Doc's gonna be out again.
Yeah,
God he didn't
just
when I
kill
saw
him.
it was him, I was like, come on.
Let him play.
The NHL as a whole says no.
Yeah, right. Now, so that one's pretty unanimous. I don't know if you guys saw this other one. So Larkin,
That was some hot shit because, like,
I think there was a lot. We're seeing the return of shite reffing. It's back, boys.
Yeah.
That was so. Listen,
because Joseph, like, that wasn't a good, like, I
It
mean,
wasn't-
I don't know how
hit
bad
that Joseph
it
laid on him too.
It wasn't the worst thing in the world, but like, it wasn't good. And
No.
like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I don't know.
that's okay. So here's my view on it as a Lightning fan. Don't roll your eyes. I'm not Ben. I'm not gonna back my guy up. Joseph should have been suspended. That should have been 5 in a game. I think.
Yeah.
I would have done 5
like,
in a
it
game.
wasn't crazy bad. Like, it does feel like a one gamer.
Yeah,
like
he
it
didn't-
feels like
because he
don't
didn't
do that, but like it's
Yeah.
not like
because he didn't
Yeah.
he didn't really hit him. He kind of just rode him into the boards, and he kind of however he cross-checked him or bumped him or whatever, he ended up going headfirst into the boards.
Yeah.
But Joseph didn't really throw a hit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I still think, but they didn't call anything.
yeah.
Not a single arm went up. And then
I guess he probably could punch guy like just
no,
cold
that
cock
was
guy.
worse. Listen, the hit was bad. Getting up and punching the guy full force with your gloves still on in the
Oh, yeah,
face.
he nailed him.
I did kind of
That's
laugh.
worse. Okay, that's
definitely-
worse.
I'll be honest with you too. I laughed when I saw that. I was like, oh
I
man, he
didn't.
drilled
I
him.
didn't. I was like, what the? But then, oh man, you should have seen. I don't know if you saw any of the clips after, but John Cooper was.
I did.
furious.
I jumped into that game like it must have been right after that happened because I literally jumped in and I just see John Cooper
He
going the
was
fuck off, and I'm like,
Furious.
what is? I see the score, so I'm like, is he just mad? I didn't see it, and then later on Twitter, I was like, oh
Yeah. The reason
that.
the reason he was so mad was because there was no penalty called on the play, and then after everything ensues, Detroit ends up with a power play, which is how it should have been. But because there was no penalty called on the play, Cooper felt that was bullshit, which it kind of is. Call the damn penalty when it's there. But I mean, obviously, he's going to be angry whenever he ends up on a penalty
Yeah.
kill. But I think
he was quite he was
that was the most angry I've ever seen him.
He was angry, like he was gone.
He was full on yelling F-bombs everywhere.
That's
If
also
it was
something we
baseball,
didn't
he
talk
would have been
about.
kicked out.
Your boy John Cooper got signed longer too.
Oh
We didn't
yeah,
talk
he got a
about
little
that.
3-year
Which-
extension, which is nice.
Yeah.
Why not?
Like, like
Hello.
I saw that and I was like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Coach of Team
Rightfully
Canada
so.
too. So I'm gonna be, I don't know who I'm gonna cheer for. Just kidding.
You're gonna
USA baby. John Cooper, who?
Fuck that guy. Chewing bubble gum on the bench all day. What the fuck?
Oh, dude, I said that during the game.
Wait, do I have to like John Cooper? Fuck.
Yeah. I said that during the game when he was yelling. He's like, God damn it, somebody go get me some more bubble gum. I'm out.
Yeah,
So anyway,
he's
back to the Larkin suspension.
Yeah. I think it's a fine suspension. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like it could be more. Dude, he fucking punched him in the face.
yeah, but I mean,
It's not like they started fighting and then he punched him in the face. He was skating by and just poof.
yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand they missed the call, but oh my god.
I watched Brady McNabb just full on sucker punch Nick Suzuki in the face in the playoffs in front of a
Yeah,
ref.
that
So
should-
like at this point,
I
I'm
saw
just
that
like,
too, and they didn't call it, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
at this point, I'm just like, I don't expect anything
Yeah,
anymore.
There's no
'cause, like,
consistency.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's fine. At least it gives him a little like, "Hey, don't do this." But I also think Joseph should have
you
gotten
should
something.
You shouldn't do that. Like
No!
like as much as I saw a lot of people be like, yeah, fuck it, like you should, yeah,
No!
he got boarded. Listen, I'm like, no,
Take the
you can't
gloves
have
off
guys.
and then punch him in the face.
can't- Yeah, you gotta fight with proper etiquette here. No,
Come on.
this suspension makes sense. Like,
But as a Lightning fan, Joseph also should have got one because that was from
it wasn't.
behind.
Yeah, it wasn't a great play all around, and I understand why he was angry.
Me
Like,
too. I totally understand it.
but probably don't punch a guy who's skating full speed away from you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's not
Well,
great.
and the thing was, he got up, punched him with his gloves on, and then took his gloves off. Preparing
I think
for
like the
everybody
got
else.
up was just like it was like instinctual. He was like,
Oh,
ah, fuck
I could
it.
see that.
Like
I
didn't
could see
have
that.
time. And then
Yeah.
he's like, wait, I just did that. There's probably gonna be some company.
I gotta get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. And then like Ruda came in to get him, and then immediately ends up on his ass with Larkin on top of him. And I was like, Ruda, what are you doing, man? Come on,
Yeah.
come on, bro.
It was just a bit of a clutch.
Yeah.
But
So I wanted to talk today about the Olympics, but there's the list. I couldn't find the lists, the 55 player list. I don't think they exist yet.
I may have been wrong about the date,
Could
but
it be
also I
November?
don't know if it was. It might be that. It also might be that they might just not be releasing it. Like it might be a thing they have to submit to the IOC, and it's just not. I don't know. I admittedly have not been. I have not been keeping up with that. It might be some interesting though. Like if that might be a strategy where they keep it under wraps, so like guys who they are thinking about don't know that they're thinking about them. So like it's let's see how these guys like perform just without already knowing. Like oh shit, we're already being looked at. Like let's see what they can do just
if they
of their own volition.
Oh, we got to play better so we can make it.
Yeah.
I can see that. So yeah, no Olympics stuff to talk about.
Hopefully at some point.
Long story short, there will be eventually, hopefully.
Although honestly, like I think STP they did a little bit on this a few weeks back. Where like I'm not gonna be that interested until we get down to like 30 men. Like to where it's like a point where it's actually close to the Olympics and like the group is close to being whittled down for each country, where there's like a few. That's honestly where my brain's going to kick in and be like, all right, this is when we start paying attention to this. But still, it will be fun if those lists do ever come out. I do want I want to see what's going on.
I want to see the lists because I want us all to make a roster. You know, try and assemble a little roster from those names because I think that could be interesting.
What countries would we do? Like US, Canada?
I mean, we could all pick one, so we could have one person does US. You would probably do Canada, Benny, since you're the resident Canadian guy, half
Nick,
Canadian guy.
Sweden.
I do Sweden if you wanted US, Nick.
What is Sweden?
All right, Nick can do Sweden. But yeah. I think that's a good idea. I think we should do that when if the list ever gets if the list ever gets released. Yeah. All right. Last but not least, gentlemen, nice short one today. Fantasy League.
It's been flowing though. Like we've been going.
That's how we do it. So we got our Fantasy League did start finally, obviously, as the season started.
It's not been great.
It's been sucking balls for me as well.
But at the same time, we're only 50-ish points away. So it's like we're very much still.
I'm 100 points back.
That's what I was thinking too. Like we're
from top guy.
100. Yep. Actually, sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. I was reading my points change.
Yes.
I am 114. But even then,
that's not bad.
Like there was points in the year last year where I was doing stuff for a second, and I think I jumped up to like third for a very brief moment in time.
You can make up points. Yeah,
fell back. You can make up points. We're not
going to make 100-point nights once in a while. Everybody always does.
Danielle does it twice.
You'll get 100-point night, and then like I'll get 20 on that night. So like you're going to make a ton of ground up on people.
But bruh,
it's all about little
Kopitar Hattie.
That's unfortunate. On the bench. That's highly unfortunate. Leaving Drouin on the bench is unfortunate.
For both, well, no, I had him on for his first goal, but then last night, I saw that he scored as I was like checking up on the scores. I'm like, yeah, and then I checked back on my fantasy and I was like,
no. Yeah. Well, here's my issue: is I got a bunch of dudes, and a bunch of dudes promptly got hurt. Like
that doesn't help things.
Matthews hasn't played yet. I had Gourde. I just got rid of Gourde because he hasn't played yet. Like I had Jason Robertson who got hurt and didn't play a single second. I'm like, fucking A, man. What do I got to do to get my players playing? And I have Cole Caulfield who's just been jerking off in Canada, apparently.
Well, that's just kind of been...
That's just the Habs in general.
The team.
Yeah.
Although Mitch Marner has not done jack shit for me this year.
He needs his boy.
He hasn't been scoring. The only guy on that team right now that's doing anything is William Nylander.
That's true.
Which, he is the one. Every time he plays the Habs, he's the one who scares me the most.
He's the consistent guy.
Yeah,
he's
the one that
performing.
always talk about trading too.
because he's
fucking trade Marner.
No, because this is why.
He's the easiest trade.
He has the most value.
Yeah, it's the easiest to trade. He's got a cheaper contract.
They would
it's
get
a lot
more,
easier to trade. Like it's like a 6.9 or somewhere around 7.
It's 7 something.
Somewhere around 7. For what he does, that's
actually
like,
a really freaking
center,
good contract.
Yeah, he's not a natural center, but I know he's done it some. But like, it just doesn't make sense for him to do it in Toronto with the centers they have.
Yeah. That's like
he's a very versatile player for the money they pay him.
That almost rivals some of the Bolts contracts. Honestly,
yeah. The best in the league is still McKinnon.
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
running up soon.
Yeah, that's gonna
be something when that comes up. But yeah,
he'll turn into the highest paid player in the league.
I think he will.
Actually, yeah, he's probably
McKinnon got 12 and a half back then, McDavid got 12 and a half whenever that was, a couple years ago, of years farther down. He's gonna be like, look, I took the team friendly deal. It's my time.
I'm getting money now, and
$15 million a year.
I am easily in the top 3 NHL.
Players in the world.
I would say.
I think he'll get at least 13, which is unbelievable, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I'd say something like that. He's fucking good, man.
Oh yeah, he's
and also
I'm
interested with Colorado this year because like they really got to do something.
They got to do
like they've been really fucking good the last couple of years, and then just
no. You know what?
How did they not beat Vegas?
But I don't know. You know what they need? They need
hockey's fucking weird.
They need a catastrophic first round getting swept, and then they'll do it.
See, I don't think most teams are the Lightning.
No, because they're already
built. That was
built.
a bit of a unique situation.
They're already built for it.
Yeah,
they just got to do it.
Granted, the Lightning were too. Like year, they should have done something.
Absolutely. They should have at least gotten through the first. They should have at least won a game. But like Coleman and Goodrow were They were extremely important. And there's a reason the Lightning spent a first rounder on each.
Fucking Coleman had to go and give me another goddamn last second like flashback too. Like
yeah. But yeah, like those
your 2 goddamn cups.
Those two were so vitally important to them winning those cups. But yeah. Back to the fantasy league. Current standings, we got Ben's in last.
Dead last, baby.
Dead last. I am just barely ahead of him by like 10 points or something. Nick is in 4th.
Yes.
So Nick's right in the middle there. It's pretty solid positioning.
I was in first for a day, I think.
Nick was in. Were you? I don't think so.
No,
Because Danielle rocketed.
Danielle
immediately started out ridiculously.
I was high, I remember.
I was in second until Nick had his 100-point night, and then that kind of bumped me down.
100 points between 5 dudes.
Your dad jumped me last night.
Yeah. And Danielle is up top. She's had 200-point nights already.
Jesus.
Yep.
I think you're gonna see.
I only have one guy playing again tomorrow. Oh, I think there's just like no games again tomorrow because I'm looking at other teams.
I can see that.
Kind of the same.
They like to do that Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Then Saturday, of course, will be a big
so
night.
Yeah, tonight I didn't have anybody playing today because I didn't have an Ottawa or Dallas player. So
damn, I don't think I do either.
One game.
Damn it.
And I don't have any. I have one person. I have Marner tomorrow.
Hey, there you go. Oh, hey,
Matthews is back tomorrow.
Yeah,
me and you, Mike. We're about to move up. Let's go.
They're gonna go out there and lay an egg, and I'm gonna be so sad.
I hope they do.
Fuck you.
Screw you, man.
We're at the bottom. Fuck off.
Don't punch down, you little bastard.
Right, well, anyway, I'm just happy. So much hockey.
It's so nice. Good. It's so good to be back. And it's cool here too because Danielle's got cable included with the apartment here, so it's like got ESPN, got the MSGs.
So even when you have your blackouts, fuck you.
But I also for the Lightning, there's really no blackout.
Although,
Listen.
I
Do you want to
actually think
borrow?
with all of like the cables, I could just get my mom's Spectrum info.
Oh,
and I would be able to do
yeah.
that login stuff. Yeah, I should just do that. Why haven't I done
I
that?
was just about to ask if you wanted to borrow Danielle's, but yeah.
If I don't get it from my mom before the next time there's a blackout game, I might hit you up on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to worry about a blackout game until
Yeah, you're fine.
April.
Well, you're not playing any New York teams till April.
They play the Rangers. The first time they play the Rangers in MSG is in April.
It's
Yeah, but what about-
it's any of these.
It's basically any of the New
and
York
it's not
teams.
it's not just MSG either. Even when they
I know.
play
I
away.
don't know. I don't watch a ton of games anyway. So
That's true.
Yeah. That's just the shitty thing is like anytime that it's a game against the Sabres, Rangers, Islanders,
Any New
but
York
it has
team.
to be in their on their
sometimes
home ice.
Devils, sometimes Devil. No, it's because the ESPN Plus defaults to the US rights, which is MSG and
See, that's
MSG
the difference
Plus.
now. I didn't know that. That's
So-
the difference now between what you used to be able to get with the NHL package versus this thing now that they have. Because with the NHL package, when you bought a team, you could get their home ice stream, their away ice stream, the other team's home ice stream.
I'm fairly
You know what I
certain.
mean?
I used to get blacked out when they were playing
No,
on
so-
NHL TV when they were playing
Okay,
like.
So I think
Yes.
what's happening, if you had the entire league subscription, you'd get blackouts, but if you bought a certain team, you would get that team's games. So you could have so I guess you could have bought the Habs.
Unless
Yeah, that would have been better.
unless you tried to go watch the Rangers stream. Like if the Canadians were playing their Rangers,
So you
right,
still would have area blackouts.
you could watch the Canadian stream, but you couldn't watch the Rangers stream because
Wish I
that
had known
is
that.
all
Yeah, right.
MSG owns all the rights to all New York's games, which is fucking.
I was also fine all of last year because it was Canadian division.
That's
so
true,
like
yeah.
I literally did not have to worry the entire year. It was great until
True.
playoffs rolled around, but then they were just all on CBC and I got that with basic cable, so I was set.
CBC.
I didn't have to worry about shit all last year. Then now I'm like I got to figure out ESPN Plus and blah. I missed this Canadian division, damn it.
I kind of miss CBC, the classic. Oh, dude, I watched. Is it TSN now? Has the old song?
Has the old song,
Oh,
yeah.
I watched a little bit of that.
Every time I watch a TSN regional broadcast and they play that, I'm like, oh,
It's so good.
dun, 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 dun. Like I get so hype. It's great.
So good.
I
where's
don't know
Don
why
Cherry
they
working
ever
these days?
stopped using that.
Don Cherry
I think he has a podcast.
Don Cherry's out. At least at a broadcast.
Yeah, I think he has a podcast.
He said some real bad stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I mean, that was his entire career, though. So like,
Yeah, it just became worse now.
like
nowadays.
they were just like, all right, man,
It's about time.
Well, it got to the point where he also just was terrible at his job.
Yeah,
Like
that's
He's like 100.
He didn't say anything. Like he would just get
Well,
on and
he
yammer
said a
for
lot.
like. Well, he said a lot.
All people
Couldn't
cared about
understand
was him
most
was
of
the
it.
fucking suit he wore that night.
You're literally, yeah. It
Pretty
got to a
much.
point where the joke was, you leave it on for a sec to see what the fuck he's wearing, and then usually mute it or like don't pay attention till the
Yeah,
fucking
true.
intermission's over.
True.
It's like
Yeah, that's
that also gets to the fact that Hockey Night in Canada's programming has not been very good or interesting for a very long time. Like there's nothing. I mean, that I often find is just kind of hockey broadcasting in general. I don't know when the last time I was watching like an intermission panel and was like, yeah,
Do you
this
guys
is fucking
Patrick Sharp.
great. Patrick Sharp.
Is
I
really
was
good.
so mad ESPN didn't pick him up. I
New
was like,
move.
what are you doing?
new
What are you
frickin'
doing?
move?
ESPN or TNT?
Do you see
How did
the-
you see NBCSN as
What
they
made
were
you
working
think, what made
and
you
not
think Mark
take him?
Messier was going to be better on air than Patrick Sharp, who had been doing it for 5 years?
Patrick Sharp's was been great the entire
He's been
time he
so
was
good.
with NBCSN. I don't know how he didn't get grabbed by one of them.
Yeah, it's
Also,
it's a
I
bummer.
want
It's a
Mike
bummer.
Milbury back.
Well,
listen.
This is where you lose me, Nick.
Did you guys see the TNT? I don't know if you saw, but did you guys see Gretzky shooting on Charles Barkley?
I did. That was very fun.
That's cool. But the entire time I was watching it, I was like, what are they doing? That's a real puck. He doesn't have a helmet. He doesn't have pads. I was like, hello?
It was a choice.
And
I
it
think
was,
Gretz knew to like kind of like he's not
he
gonna
was
rip a wrist
whipping
on
him, man.
Or was he?
It seemed like he was whipping him to me. I was like, damn, that's fast. I'd be scared. he was shooting it. I was like, man, is he gonna like? I would have kept it on the ground, but he's like hitting the top corner. I'm like, dude, if he hits him in the wrong spot, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. Well, I
It
guess
was cool,
Charles
though.
was
It was
ready.
really cool.
Charles was ready.
Yeah, he didn't care. He's like, whatever.
I'm glad they brought him in to like be a part of that because it's always been fun hearing him. Like every time NHL playoffs roll around, he's always said like, I think like his thing is he doesn't usually watch that much hockey in the regular season, but as soon as playoffs roll around is like his favorite thing to watch because
Okay,
NHL playoffs are a lot of fun.
Pretty fun.
They're a great time. And like he doesn't like every time he's been in interviews about it, I've noticed he doesn't always know all that much about it, but he's just like, I love fucking watching it. And like
That's what you need.
it must be interesting as like an outside observer to just like not pay attention at all and then just kind of jump in the playoffs and just kind of like find a storyline to like watch and root for. Like that would be, I wonder what that's like watching hockey in that way.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they're doing okay broadcasting wise.
I've liked what I've seen. I haven't watched any of TNT really. I've seen like I saw that Charles Barkley thing.
I think it was
getting shared around on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I don't have any way to watch TNT games because I didn't have a cable login. But I'm gonna figure that out. Because I did have Hulu Live for a while because my brother was buying it, but then he stopped doing that, and I don't want to pay for Hulu Live.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking expensive.
Is it 50 still?
It's like $70 now.
Friggin' A.
Yeah, like
with YouTube TV.
Dang, man.
I'm like, dude, I just buy cable at that point.
Pretty much.
Which is kind of getting to with all of the streaming services now. It's like, all right, like,
are they gonna raise is this what's gonna happen? Oh, first, it was really funny on TNT. They had the panel. They had Gretzky on the one end, and right next to him, who do they put next to him? But Paul Bissonnette. Next to Wayne Gretzky. It was so funny.
That is a bit of a like when you're thinking of like NHL players. That's such a. It's not to be mean, but it's like such a drop. It's like
it's
he's literally the greatest player ever.
And then like a 300 like a 300 game guy or something.
Yeah.
Beside a Barstool Sports schmuck.
Yeah, pretty much.
I forgot that they brought him in.
Yeah. But what the hell was I talking
ESPN,
about?
I liked what I saw out of ESPN though, because I've watched a lot of their games already. Because I think literally opening night, they were both
ESPN. Yeah, it was Tuesday.
They were both ESPN, but I watched the beginning of the Pittsburgh Tampa game on my phone at work, and then came home and watched the rest of that, and then also watched the entire Vegas game.
Oh, you guys want to talk about the Kraken?
The Kraken have been so much fun.
They're really fun.
I haven't watched anything with them.
They're gonna be in a lot. They've already been in a bunch of close games. I think they've all been 1-goal games in every single game they've played. They're 1-2.
That comeback.
They almost had that comeback against Vegas, and I wanted them to get it so bad.
You know what? That reminds me. Let's touch on this. Did he kick it?
I will say that one, I agreed with the good goal call. The one in the Toronto-Ottawa game, I did not at all. Because the one in the Vegas-Seattle game, it was just him kind of like tilting his skate a little bit. And like, I can get behind that as a redirect. That I can get behind. But the Ottawa one, he literally just put his foot went forward.
Yeah, no.
Like, it was like, I was like...
See, now I disagreed with both of them. I think they were both kicking motions because Chandler Stevenson, right?
Yes.
He did angle his skate, but it also appeared as though he kind of kicked it up a little bit. It looked like there was a little forward motion on the skate. So I
haven't read. Apparently, there was a rule change recently, like within a year and a half or 2 years, some recent, where they kind of clarified the kicking rule, and they made it because distinct kicking motion was always the only part of the rule they had, and they made it so the redirect thing was okay. But like, I that's why I think it makes more sense. It makes more sense for them to have allowed that one. I'm not saying it's necessarily right.
Yeah.
But like, I there's more of a window for me to be like, okay, sure.
Okay.
With the other one, I'm just like,
Yeah, that
it was
one in the
literally
Toronto game was-
it was literally just fully forward and in, and I'm like,
hello.
I think that's a kick. I don't know, but I don't know. Is this just our new goalie interference?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're still kind of there with goalie
No,
interference.
yeah, it's
but
not our
like,
new one. It's just another one.
That's just another one, I guess.
Yeah. I don't.
I don't know, Nick. Thoughts?
Yeah. What do you think, Nick? He's just
I
tired.
don't have any.
He's a sleepy boy.
Well, on that note, then, are we
Yeah.
done?
Yeah. Let's end it off there. All right, everybody. We hope you enjoyed. Hit like if you liked it. Hit subscribe if you want to see more. And tune in next time so we can talk more about our teams and if they've done any better. Hopefully the Canadians get their first win.
I would like that. Please.
I hope they don't.
We play San Jose next, so
Go
who
Sabres
knows?
from Daniel. Hey, you could
Yeah,
beat San
go
Jose.
Sabres.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully with Eric back in tow. Peace out.